Happy Saturday. Today is Saturday, January 16th, week 2 of 2021. We've had a great week. I hope you have too. Week started on Sunday, and we didn't do much that day. I think we did a little bit of cleaning. For some reason, I didn't do any video at all that day. Monday was a work day. Got a chance to teach someone a little bit about virtual machines, how those work and what we do with those for our software testing in my day job. And I always enjoy teaching. It's fun to help people learn something new. On Tuesday, I was thinking about creative ideas for things to do with winter. This year, it's been kind of nice that we've so far had a little bit of snow here and there, so it's been more wintry feeling rather than just brown and gray outside. So that's kind of nice. Still looking for creative ideas for wintry types of things. Tuesday night, I went with Ben to Hillcrest High School. He's in 8th grade now, so he'll be a freshman next year. So they had kind of an incoming freshman orientation going on that evening. I found myself being pretty excited for Ben. I don't know, kind of vicariously, I remember what it was like going into high school and how I was a little nervous and excited all at the same time. And Ben is really looking forward to this. He's looking forward to baseball. He's looking forward to all the academics. Ben has been talking for many years that he wants to be a doctor, so he's really excited about the schooling that he'll be able to get for dual credit. If everything goes well, he will be able to have almost 2 years of college done before he finishes high school. So that would be really cool and save him some time and some money. So Ben is really excited. On Wednesday, somehow I got curious about flies. I don't know why, but I came across a video that talked about why flies are so hard to swat. I don't know how they figured this out, but they figured out that flies see everything that we see in normal speed, they see like it's in slow motion. And I guess they measure that in hertz. So we see at like 60 hertz. I can't pretend to know what that means exactly, but flies see in about 250 hertz. So that's how much faster they see things than we do. Very interesting. I guess that's why they can fly away faster more often than we can swat. Also on Wednesday, I was watching a video of David Hoffman's. David Hoffman, filmmaker on YouTube, has been a channel that I've been watching a lot of lately. I really like his perspective and his outlook on life. And I came across one of his older videos. The thumbnail was "Kindness is Magic." In fact, I think I have that here on the screen. That particular video, it really touched me because it was talking about that there have been these surveys of people about what they want most in a mate. And the top of the list for both men and women was kindness. Things got different between men and women about what they wanted after that, but what they wanted at the top of their list was kindness. And that means a lot to me. I posted it on Facebook, and my mom replied and said that was the first thing that she noticed in Richard, my stepdad. That's very obvious to all of us who know Richard. He's a very kind man. So it just makes me think, if that's the highest thing on people's lists, then it gives us more hope for kindness being a huge key into helping the world where we're at right now. That gives me hope. Also on Wednesday, I watched a video from Vsauce. Michael, what's Michael's last name? I don't know. He doesn't mention that much. He just says Michael here. The title of the one that I watched was called Illusions of Time. One of the things he talked about was very interesting to me because I think about it, and I've mentioned it here on this vlog before, about how we look at different times in our lives with different lenses, and we start to have different perspectives the older that we get. He mentioned the whole concept of when we realize that we are the age that our parents were when we were born, we end up having a lot more empathy for them. We, as kids, expected them to have things a lot more figured out. And now that we realize what age they really were, how young they were when we were born, we have a little bit more empathy because we realize we don't have things figured out. That video had a whole lot more in it that I really want to watch again and digest, because the whole concept of time, how much we remember and how much we don't remember, is very curious to me. Also on Wednesday, Zachary had a job interview at the cleaning company that Jill used to work at. So since they liked Jill so much there, he was able to get this interview, and so he's learning the concept of it's not so much what you know as who you know, especially for just getting your foot in the door. He said the interview went really well. He was going to hear back from them in a couple of days. If he gets this job, it'll be very good for his schooling. His schooling starts on Tuesday. Thursday night, Ben and I had our date night together. As I've talked about before, date nights are the thing that Jill and I do with the boys on a rotation, so that every 6 weeks we've had one-on-ones with each one of them. It's always a lot of fun. We don't do anything major. Like Ben and I this time, we grabbed some French fries, brought them back home, sat at the kitchen table and ate French fries and played cards. Don't know why I didn't get some pictures or video of that. I guess I'm slipping on that. I need to catch a little bit more video of what's going on throughout the week. When Ben and I were talking on our date night, I suddenly remembered a story that I hadn't told him before. My sister Britta and my sister Danny and I, our neighbor friend Bob, had taken us to McDonald's. I was about 8 years old, so that would make Britta about 4 years old, and Danny would have been then about 6 years old. So we're standing inside of McDonald's. Bob's told us we can get whatever we want, so we're all looking up at the menu. I look up there and I said, well, I'm going to get a Big Mac and a chocolate shake. And then Danny says, well, I'm going to get a cheeseburger and French fries and a Coke. And Britta's looking up like this, and Bob looks at her and says, well, Britta, what do you want? She says, Bob, I can't read. She's only 4 years old. Oh, it's funny, the stories we remember from when we were little. I mean, that had to have, if that was, oh my goodness, if I was 8 years old, that means that was 40 years ago. Again, time. It's the strangest thing, because I remember that like it was yesterday. On Friday, we got some more snow. That was really nice. Well, it was nice for us. Ben was a little upset because it wasn't enough to keep him home from school, but it was beautiful. Also on Friday, on my lunch break, Cody came over and we did some recordings of him playing guitar. We're going to play around with that creativity and find ways of just making videos that we can put on a channel that's just for his guitar stuff. I think we're going to have a lot of fun with that. I'm urging Cody to get past that initial feeling that you got to have everything perfect. Really, all we need to do is have it done. Done is better than perfect. I think it was Peter McKinnon that said that, or repeats it a lot. I'm not sure if that was from him or from somebody else, but it's absolutely true. And if we want to keep being creative and learning new things, we've got to just make something, put it out there, do that over and over again, and we'll get better at it just by nature of repeating the process. Definitely don't want to get paralyzed by the thought process of trying to make something really great. Just make anything at all and then move on, and it'll get better as you continue to try new and interesting things. Last night, Jill and I had a date night, just the two of us, and we just reflected a little bit on how things are different at this stage. When you have teenagers in your house, it's very different than when you have littles or toddlers or infants. Those phases all have their different challenges. We talked about how it was harder to get in a date night when they were little, but now it sometimes can be harder to get in a date night because we realize we can do that anytime we want. And for some reason, when you can do something anytime you want, you tend to not do it as often because I don't know, I can't explain that exactly. We just talked again about how we want to be more intentional about having our date night. We do definitely get a lot more time together just by nature of the fact that we're not incredibly busy and exhausted like we were when the kids were little. So we do spend a lot of time talking and driving together and things like that. We're staying connected naturally, but we definitely want to take more times to just have simple date nights. This morning we woke up to some more fresh snow on the ground. Not enough to be difficult on the roads or anything like that. Well, not this morning anyway. It was a little bit last night. So I woke up this morning after sleeping in a little bit. That felt good. Then took Lucy for a walk, and I'll be taking the other two for their walks later on today. Trying to get those 10,000 steps a day that I want to have as my baby step toward getting more in shape. Well, that wraps up week 2 of 2021. Have a great week. We'll see you next week.